tripping me out, making me think I'm being stalked and hunted. Welcome to the campfire. Today, we're just going to be continuing our journey in the Long Dark. We were working on looting and raiding the entire region here in Coastal Highway. What do I want to drop here? We need to lighten up our load just a little bit. Which will be... Well, I mean, we don't have to carry so much food on us. We're just going to be wandering around this area. We can also drop probably the fuel. Let's just drop anything we're not going to be needing on the immediate while we're wandering around. Like rifle bullets, because we don't have a rifle. Should be enough. Let's drop these, because we can pick these back up before we leave to head on to the next region. And only really need to carry enough to light one fire. So let's put these down. There we go. It's not super light, but we're now much lighter. I know part of our weight is going to be because of our clothing choices, but being light and able to move is secondary sometimes. So if we get caught out in anything, we don't want to be unprepared. Let's take a look. Alright, so the wolves are not right on us. We already did those two houses. There's this one over here. Gonna have to worry about wolves going over here, but it is starting to snow, which usually means the wolves disappear. Most animals. There's one right there. Okay. Helps that we don't have the fish on us this time. Let's just eat that, so we don't have to worry about it. Because I will forget. Plenty of food. Not gonna starve anytime soon. Or have to worry about fishing. Alright. And what about here? Down around all these. No? We already checked that one. I don't know why I'm checking it twice. Check your oven, check it twice. Ooh, we don't want that. The fish is going to draw the wolves straight to us. Because, as I learned, I am terrible at dropping them on time to be used as bait. And also, I think it was just too close when it sniffed me. There was just no distracting it. Now with the angle of the attack and everything. Had it been coming up behind me, yes. Maybe would have worked. But given it was coming from the side, it just didn't get anywhere near the fish to be distracted by it. Alright, well, this house had food, and that was about it. That leads into the question of, could I just use the fish as a distract? Well, no. Maybe, but unlikely? Alright. Alright. Full-on blizzard. Which actually helps us. And let's get back inside. Not much of the day left, with it being a full blizzard. Should probably just wait it out for the rest of the night. So let's grab our sewing primer book. Yeah, because we could do the fire lighting book. Let's do that next. Once we get through this one. And yes, just barely enough. So that's the sewing primer book done. And really? No? We're 1 hour short of done with it. Now there's not enough light. Let's take some food. Get some calories first, and then we'll sleep through the night. See if that weather clears up. We're not quite far enough into the day. Do a little bit of that, some of that. All right. All right. Well, let's check the weather. Where am I looking at? Really? I never searched this file cabinet? That's weird. I mean, happens, but I thought I would have looked at it. Alright. Now, fire barrel, all that. So I should be able to get out of here right there. Let's check the weather, see what we're working with. It's not too bad today. Probably be foggy for a little bit. Oh, quality tools. Heck yeah. Let's check the trunk here. Scrap metal and water. It's worth taking. I guess we did kind of just sprint in here as fast as we could after everything happened. Let's check this trunk. More, and then climbing socks. Alright, we should probably drop stuff off. See if we can finish that book. Yep, we can finish the book. There we go. So that gives us a boost to our mending skill. Not a huge boost, but it's something. Which is better than nothing. So let's drop that book. And let's drop crowbar, put these down. And anything else? Sports socks. Put those away. Anything else? The worn climbing socks. Yeah, for now we'll put those down and the spare gloves. I mean, technically, yes, you can eat a tree. You can boil the bark until it's softer, and I mean, it provides a little nutritional value, not much. Such a weird question, Astrid. The fascinating answer is yes, you kinda can. It heavily depends on the type of tree. Like oak trees, kind of. Pine trees, again, kind of. You have to boil out the resin. You have to boil out the oak tannins. And it's not going to be good for you, but it'll satisfy your hunger. The nutritional value just there's not much there. Some trees, like, oh, what's a tree that is actually toxic, potentially toxic if you try to eat it? I want to say it's in South America, or the dynamite box tree, where the bark is also explosive, but just not good for you. Fresh venison? Okay. Yeah, give us those calories. But I mean, as far as edible trees that are moderately good for you, cinnamon's a tree. It's straight up the bark off a tree. I mean, I guess good for you is subjective there as well. Depends on how you're using it and what you're using it for. It tastes good and has some nutritional value. That's about all I can think of with that one. Why am I ranting about and rambling about trees and their nutritional value? I don't know either, don't ask. Don't know why that came to mind at all, other than, yeah, Astrid complaining. So that's just, oh, we missed these three. And a can of peaches right out in the open. Because of course I was looking at the floor. So let's, there we go. Alright, that's everything in this house. Let's go take a look at the next one. Just not used to these houses being available for looting. It's kind of nice to be in Stalker. It's hard enough to be challenging. You actually have to think about what you're doing, but like everything they put all their effort into making in the game exists. I also love Interloper. It is complicated. It is difficult. You have to try really hard to win. And there is no real winning in Interloper. It's just how well you do. But it would be nice to have some of this stuff. Like, I can see the appeal to this. And I enjoy it. I'm definitely having fun with it, I should say. I'm not rushing to get to the next thing that I need to get to survive. Which is kind of a nice change of pace. Anything of value? No. I'll say definitely. On the other hand, it slows you down on your movement from region to region because you're just constantly searching for everything. If you're trying to be thorough, searching for everything. Alright, there's a fish in that, but we don't want the fish. Okay, so what about up here? We're already getting overweight, so we're gonna have to walk back again. I wonder if we can make a travois. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sure I'm wrong. And let's see, more clothes. And I suppose we could always equip lower value clothing while we're just wandering around in region here. And then put on the heavier clothing when we move out. Doesn't seem like there's anything else here. Did I don't know. I don't think I checked the kitchen. had to pause and go look at something for work. Yeah, I did the kitchen. Okay. Then if I go into here, can I see... What can I do here? Is it... Yeah, Travois. Okay, so I am kind of correct there. We need a deer hide, cured, 2 cured guts, and a cured maple sapling. 4 of them. We also need a knife. Alright, so if we find a knife, that makes that feasible. We also need to find 3 more maple saplings. Not an impossibility. Let's go back to the Quonset, drop stuff off, and continue our search of the region. Could find a knife, could find anything else we're looking for. Like a rifle. God, I love that view. I mean, on the other hand, in a couple days, I'm going to be moving to a new apartment where I will have a view of the mountains. Technically speaking, I could have a view of the mountains here if I was about another 60 feet up. Unfortunately, I don't have a view of the mountains because I am behind a whole bunch of trees. Next place, though, has a straight-up view of the mountains. Let's drop the gloves, these shoes, shirt, more gloves, more food objects. Drop some of these. That, and then we'll drop some water. We got our... whatchamacallit? The strength boost. So we've got that going for us now. Is that really everything we can drop? Suppose we can drop one of these and that. Let's just take a bandage just in case. Let's drop more water. Come on. Got plenty here, at least. More than I thought we'd get stashed away for the moment. But I also forgot that all the houses would be available for us to loot water from. Suppose we could use this as our main base. It's not the worst area. Let's do that. And not that low on food, but I just don't want to try to eat it on the run. Just in case we have to run. Alright. Now. Go up the hill. We could go visit those areas, but I think our best luck for usable items are going to Jackrabbit Island and these huts way over there. So we should take a look that way. Stop and visit some of these fishing huts if we can. Looks like the wolves are down over that way, so we'll stay over here. But there's the bear. Okay. We can avoid the bear rather easily, though. It's the wolves that are a pain. So we may have to miss that fishing hut. At least for the moment, because the bear... Wolves. Bear. More wolves. Everybody's after us. What the hell? Yeah. See, if I crouch, they all start moving in different directions from me. That is so weird. Let's just go this way. Those wolves are down over there. The bear should have leave us alone. Those wolves are going over that way. So we'll just crouch. Stealth move it. Okay, he's just coincidentally moving in our direction. Let's move a little quicker. Get some distance. Yeah, we should be alright. It's not like I couldn't take them down, just I don't want to waste anything. Let's get... And that's our destination right up there. Technically would be faster to go that way around. That's also putting us right up on the wolves. Let's see. So we walk this way. Keep on moving. Keep on trucking. Oh, there is this spot too. There could be a knife on this guy. Could also have a... I mean, it could be nothing, but there could also be a Polaroid for mapping out later. So let's stop and talk to this. Or take a look at this. Yeah, he's got a backpack. Matches. And running shoes. So no Polaroid. So the Polaroid might be on the other body now. I don't know for sure. Let's take a look over here. We got time before we get into trouble. So, and by trouble I mean we start losing health due to cold. How close to this can I get before it starts breaking? Alright, we had enough time. Windbreaker. I think that's helpful in conditions like this where it's high wind. So let's take a quick look. Yeah. Really doesn't help with the temperature though. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it really wouldn't change much. In fact, I think we'd be getting colder faster. If I was reading that right. Here's one of the trade boxes. So you can live here and do trading missions. Can always see about that later. Problem is if we stay here too long, the cougar activates. And we gotta deal with that. I don't think we're capable of dealing with that. At the moment. If we got lucky, yes. Knowing my luck, no. So let's take a look through gloves, more gloves. Ton more matches. And more food. Plenty of flour to work with. More food. I mean, I shouldn't even be surprised it is the kitchen. Anything else? What else could be in here? I'm almost more curious about what else is in the house. Because all the food and... Ooh, broth. And... nothing I can see on there. What about this corner? Nothing. Stuff stashed in the weirdest of places, usually. That's also usually what I miss. Nothing here. Okay. I almost missed this drawer just because of that light ray. Nothing back there, it seems. What about here? Ooh, ragged ski gloves. So if we repair those will probably be better than what we're using. By a bit. What about a book? Herbal tea. Would have been helpful when we needed to heal. Alright, anything else? Nothing in the dark shadows of the rooms. Ooh, thick wool sweater. Decent work pants. Are those going to be better than what we're currently wearing at all? No. Okay. It's always worth checking, though. Never assume it's going to be better or worse until you look at the numbers. More water, why not? Always can use more water. Think you have enough stockpiled? You might not. Alright. We should head on, suppose, continue the loop up to that hill. I can never remember, is this Jackrabbit Island or is the other one Jackrabbit Island? I think it's that one. Yeah, this one usually just has food. I think it's this one that has the or used to have the potential to spawn a rifle. Now rifles can spawn just about anywhere. Ah, and harsh weather is moving in, maybe. Quite the possibility. This isn't a bad region to live in, because you do have the forge right over there in Desolation Point. You have the workbench in Quonset, and the outdoor workbench over there. Of course, there's wolves. Another revolver. So we've got plenty of those on hand. There's a line right there. I missed it on my first look, but I see it now. It's right in my face. Sewing kit. Sometimes there's a knife in one of these. Of course, there's wolves. So, that's a deer. That's a deer between me and the wolves. So I should be able to go up and around the backside. Jesus. I didn't notice it was breakable until it was almost across, at which point it's like, just make it to the other side. Ah, some stuff to look at. Cloth. There. Can I get this? Yep. Some lichen. Yeah, that's just a piece of wood. Backpack. Quick flame, okay. Let's see, can we get this? Yep. Alright. Some fancy things that washed up on shore. Nothing super amazing, but... Oh, let's just keep this out just in case we need it. We'll sort out which one to keep on us and which one to put in a locker once we get back to Quonset. Alright. Make it this far. Okay, so that was all deer. I just thought it was a wolf. Gotcha. Let's pick up these. Just in case we ever need them. Better to hold on to them and not need them. Okay. Now we're up at Jackrabbit. I think this is Jackrabbit and the other one is just the other one. I don't know. Sometimes the names seem to be arbitrary. Is there anything back there? No. Not a lamp, but... can't really do anything with it. Newspaper roll. Something under the bed. Peanut butter. More flour. Salt. There's a granola or candy bar. Technically a granola bar, whatever. Cabinet is empty. Okay. I mean, I never really expect much in these. But sometimes you get lucky. And there's more cabinets up top. Okay. Crackers. Crackers are great travel food because they're so light and calorie dense. Rabbit. Alright, so we'll have to go in here to chew that down. Only 450 calories, but it's plenty for the time being. And sport vest. It's good backup equipment. Cloth. There's water. Nothing there. Guess the antibiotics are useful. If you get hurt. New jeans. And backup clothes are always useful. I'm not going to say no to them. Definitely a lot of stuff to store at Quonset. And what's in here? Painkillers. Technically, I mean, we don't need the water, but I will take it. It's going to make us slow because it's so heavy. Nothing in the fridge? No. Freezer, maybe? Okay. Alright. That's everything we can get from here, with the exception of a book. There's another book on the table. We don't need it. Not at the moment. Alright, so what's next? Next would be to continue on down the hill. The weather approaching, we want to get to those huts at the dock really quickly. Let's pull out the gun. There's deer down there. Don't see any wolves at least. Looks like a deer carcass down on the beach. Yeah. It's just deer down there. Not an ideal time to try and take one out, though. Especially now with a pistol or the revolver, which is, I think, a 40% chance of success. Otherwise, you have to chase it down, all that. Eh. Not in this weather. Let's just keep moving. Into this headwind is going to make this a slower process than I was expecting. What's up over here? Is this the island where... Maybe. This one might have a Polaroid. It might also have the knife. And yes, I will check. There's feathers. I don't see anything else on the ground, though. Yeah, feather. He might have it on him. Hoodie. Okay. Well, I didn't expect anything great. I can hope all I want. Yeah, nothing. Alright, so we're gonna take a look at this, see if we can get to this body, because there might be something on it. Might. On it or near it. Alright, so we're good there. Ooh, food. Can I get these feathers? Yes. Okay. I never know quite how close I can get before it starts to break. If this was, a year ago when I was playing this regularly, a little over a year ago, I'd probably just be like, oh yeah, I can totally step here. I can't step here. Now it's like, I have no idea. What am I doing? Alright, let's get up to this island. Just keep on going. I have no idea where that's from. It's just in my head. Don't even think that's actually a song. Maybe it is, or it's whatever kind of part of a song that my brain's just like, yeah, you've totally heard this before. And come to find out it's entirely different. Anything up here? Stick? Stick, stick, stick? No stick? Becky? No. Alright, let's take a turn, go up here to this fish hut. Probably finish out the day just chilling in one of these huts. Because we're not making it back all the way. Not to Quonset. Not before the weather gets much worse. And while it's clear we could easily survive out here and not get cold for a long period of time, I don't want to get lost. I'm not that familiar with where I'm going and what I'm doing here. It has been long enough that some things are starting to surprise me. Firearm cleaning kit, so we can repair our pistols in one round. I'm not going to say no to a bullet for it. Nothing? Okay. And that's a pallet. If we had an axe, we could break it down quickly enough. Well, let's get moving. So we'll stop here, check out these 3 huts. Then we'll probably head up to over there to the Rabbit Grove. Drop stuff off there as a cache. Then we could move on to Mystery Lake, keeping in note what's here and come back for it later. Or return here, rather. But what with the cougar and everything else, I don't want to sit in one place too long. Because the longer you sit in one area, the more likely it is to appear and start hunting you down. Which is frustrating. Yeah, the weather's starting to... It's getting closer to worse, but it might shift again. What's at this hut? And we're actually getting warm. That is funny. Anything coming? Doesn't look like any animals are here to worry about. Rifle. Cartridge, not the actual rifle. Couldn't be that lucky. Marine flare. Tinder plug. Alright. Well, one of these times I'm going to open one of those and it's going to be a knife. Alright? It's where my luck sometimes is. Let's see. It's a slow and arduous trek. And if the weather holds like this, we might try to make Rabbit Grove tonight. We've got plenty of daylight left. Well, let's see what we get here. Yeah. Lantern fuel. Coffee. Heck yeah. Trail boots. Are they going to be not significantly better, but once we repair them, they will be better. Really need to let myself slow down before trying to loot stuff. Because that whole, like, you're still technically moving, even if it's like inches and your calories keep draining faster. Thing is kind of biting me here. Let's do the chocolate bar. We're not that low, but get the weight out of us. There we go. Anything to drop a couple pounds or ounces. Grams. Whatever. Anything in here? More food. Soda. Food. I mean, it's nothing to complain about, really, having all this. All this food definitely sets us up for a little while. Didn't really think this would have much of anything, because each of these individually, I think it would make sense that they would have the loot of like a couple or one house, because they're just tiny little cabins. Not going to bother with the simple tools. Not at the moment. I'm gonna drop them in here. Yeah, 'cause we're carrying way too much. Candy bar. Anything else? More boots. Those are ragged though. And what do we got? Backpack. Let's get to the last two. Or last one. The other thing I want to look at, once upon a time, mind you, this was before the loot revamp. Oh, come on. Let me through. So there's that to look at yet. Once upon a time, Hatchet occasionally spawned down this way, next to that boat. Now again, that was before the loot revamp, but now anything can spawn just about anywhere. Which I appreciate the loot revamp because it makes it so that your runs aren't just go to this spot, go to that spot, go to the third spot, and you're done. Now it's you actually kind of do have to run around and explore different places and kind of pick your quest by making a choice. I don't see anything over there. Could be wrong. It doesn't look like there's going to be anything over here. And we're too heavy to move any quicker. Yeah, no. I'm not wrong. My eyes didn't lie to me. Unless it's something really tiny, there's nothing here. Yeah. Alright. Well, it was worth looking. Because that one time... that one time it was there. But let's get back up to the last hut, take a look through it. We have plenty of time to get to Rabbit Cove or Grove, whatever it is. And take a look through everything there. Do. That one I know is from like an old folksy song. Ooh. Revolver ammunition. Nothing out there. Nothing on the workbench. Yeah, I know. We're carrying a lot. This fishing cabin might be where we stash things. At least some spare food and water. Especially since we're carrying so much water now. It doesn't hurt to have a stash of water in a dozen different places. I know. Especially if we're going to be on the move. Yeah. We've got 7 liters. Let's drop a couple. Oops, not that. That just picked up our movement speed a fair bit. Yeah, we dropped almost 10 liters. Or no. Maybe only 4 kilograms because it's 4 liters. Weird. The 4 kilos apparently makes us that much lighter, that much faster. Don't tell me the bear's out here now. Sometimes there's a bear. Oh, and that wind is making us super slow. Alright. That's it. That's the other thing. I'm gonna drop some of the clothing like boots and shoes. Yes, yes, I know, we're too heavy. Boots and shoes, boots and shoes. No, I wanted to keep those. So we're gonna repair those and they might be better. Thick wool sweater. Drop one of them. And drop both. Those extra pants. There we go. We're all lightened up. One thing I want to check. Okay. Yeah, so having only the one isn't terrible. Let's see about anything else we can drop. Let's drop some cardboard matches, that's fine. Alright. Let's go to our notes. Coastal highway, so CH. Quonset. Books, food, water, a lot. Clothes, revolver, rifle ammo, bow, arrow. CH, fishing hut, or fishing cabin, workbench. Clothes, matches, and water. There we go. So now we've got 2 little spots here with a lot of stuff. I should also remember to make a note that we left a hammer back there as well at Quonset. And a hacksaw. We'll need to make those notes when we get to the next safe spot. Well, it's not like we're in danger right here. Hammer, hacksaw. There. It's not like we're in any danger. Our temperature wasn't dropping. Nothing's really going on. So, just keep on trucking. Don't think... I mean, is this weather bad enough that the animals despawn? No, we can hear wolves. So I'm not going to walk straight out onto the river. We're going to check over here where we can see up the river a little ways. And let that decide how we're going to proceed. Do we make a straight shot, or is it safe to just walk up the river a little ways? No matter which way we go, it's going to be some danger, I'm sure, no matter what we do. Alright, I don't see the bear, and I don't see wolves. At the moment. Could always come running up the side here because they were actually right below us. Keep in mind. This car sometimes has things. Sometimes. I'm going to try to make it to Mystery Lake. I'm running low on everything, but we can find enough to get us through till spring. Then we can try to make it back to Calgary. Meet me there. We'll stay for a while. Follow the tracks in from the crater. You'll see the lodge building. But we'll make for the cabins across the lake. Bring anybody you can find. Bring food and a deck of cards. See you soon, Heather. Well, I get the feeling neither of them ever made it. And if they did, well, they're not still there. Matches. Another scrawled note. They're biting fierce right now. I can feel it. Meet me at my boat tomorrow early light. That is coastal house, destroyed house. Where is that at? It's got to be down over by Quonset. All right. Well, let's get out of here. And that is something to look at too. That is cabin. Oh yeah, that's where we're going. We're heading up over this way. Let's drink the coffee, give us some of that fatigue boost so that we can make it up over. Possibly make it home. Not home, but make it to the next stopping point. Next location on our journey. Alright. Let's just keep moving. Not in any hurry. We're not in any harm either. And I've got to remember, I don't have to drag everything back to one location. As long as I know where it is, that's the important part. Because we can always make other trips to go visit these locations and gather material and equipment as we need it. Like say, for whatever reason we can't find a knife. Well, we know where our hammer is, we know where all that metal is, we can go make one. In fact, we could have just turned around and gone and made one. Oh, that song is just tripping me out. Making me think I'm being stalked and hunted. Alright. Let's just get moving. Keep on going. That wind is really slowing us down. Let's guarantee if I turned around, we'd move a lot faster. We actually do move faster walking backwards. That's the ridiculous part. Come on. And there. There. Might as well pick some of these up while we're going. Get us that vitamin C. And some more of it. Because we do have scurvy active. Anything? No? I don't hear. Granted, I don't hear much of anything over the music. Hey, it's beautiful music. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not used to it being there. Harvest. Grab some more cattails. Cattails. Woo! Don't know anything else from that song, to be fair, not off the top of my head. So, it's enough of that, I guess. Weather is lightening up. That is unusual. I was sure it was going to go straight into a blizzard. But it held for a while on that halfway there, halfway not. Now it looks like it's backing off. So the sky's clearing up. Which means the wolves are not going to go away. Same with the bear. Hopefully we're not going to walk right into the bear. That's the risk with walking up this river. Or creek, stream. So that you could end up walking face first into the bear. Or it walks up behind you. Like we've had happen in a previous run. I had a flashback to that moment. Granted, on Interloper that was so much harder, but because the weather was more harsh, equipment was less plentiful. Yeah. So remember with Interloper, you generally went up to Quonset, over to Mystery Lake, up to Pleasant Valley, and then back and around to go make everything. Depending on your luck, sometimes you would turn left and go to Forlorn Muskeg because, hey, I've already found everything to start making stuff. Not that we're at that point here. We could go make stuff, we just don't need to. At the moment. We also already found all the equipment needed to go make, like, the knife and the hatchet. Plenty of food, too. Food was one of the big reasons you kept running. Because you basically found enough to keep you going for, you know, the day you spent in each region. While you were working on gathering the materials to make the equipment to allow you to survive longer in a region. And there's nothing wrong with that. I can see the appeal, and I do enjoy that style of gameplay. Is this where... I think this is where the hut we're looking for is. Or it's near here. Yeah, it's right there. Rabbit Grove. So where is this stash? Let's just eat some food while we're standing here. New Pinnacle Peaches? Nah, let's not do that one. That one is better cooked. Let's do the dog food, I guess. Just wait for that to work its way through. Back to searching. Alright, so if we look at this, zoom in, Memento Cache, Rose Hips. So if we stand here and head over here, the Memento Cache should be over here somewhere. Or up over here. The cattails were down over there. Rose Hips and the house. So you would think it's over here. Even this feels too far. Huh. What about you? Nothing. This has got to be too far away from that spot. But the distance is set. Keeps putting us right in the middle. It's Rose Hips Cabin. Yeah. Reishi Mushrooms, Memento Cache. So it's got to be near that stump that I was looking at. I didn't notice the Reishi Mushroom marker, otherwise... Well, it wouldn't have been so far off. I wouldn't have been walking away from that area. Here, we don't need that out. So near those trees? It's got to be right over here somewhere. Is the reishi mushroom? Oh, right there. Bullets, maple syrup. Yeah, alright. Dog food. I'm less excited about the dog food if you couldn't tell. Alright, we're gonna get in here, take a look around. I know it's getting heavy. There. Let's at least see long enough to search. Ragged down vest, so we can... There'll be some things to drop here. Newsprint, painkillers... Nothing. Alright. Yeah. Not a lot here, but it didn't need to be a lot here. With this, let's go with cattail heads. Drop some meds. There. Drop that. Kind of want to keep these on me, but at the same time, we're already fairly overburdened. Yeah, let's drop the flour. Screw it. Let's put two of these down. Alright, I got an idea. Actions, unload. I'm gonna put the revolver in here too. Just the spare one. And we'll take two of those out of our inventory, one of these. Puts us light enough to keep moving. Let's drop some of this extra food as well. Okay. And from there, we'll put it in our notes. CH Rabbit Grove Hut. Food. Shirt. Matches. Revolver. Actually, I don't even think I did matches. Revolver. And yeah, that was kind of it. The important stuff. Let's eat some food and go to bed. While we're at it, thank you for joining me here at the campfire. If you like the video, like it. If you have questions, comments, concerns, witty remarks, recommendations, and suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you want to. Join the Discord if you want to. And as always, have a wonderful day.